Coach Creighton in general?
Well, Marquette was great today. They played very similar in the first half as they played at Butler when they got the 16-point lead. The difference was second half against Butler, they didn't make their shots, and today they made their shots in the second half. Very difficult team to guard because of the way they can spread you out. They have so many guys that shoot the three-point shot. And while I thought we started the game pretty engaged defensively, for the first 8 to 10 minutes, when they made a little bit of run, we didn't react very well. And it's probably where we missed Maurice the most, is we just didn't have a voice there, nobody to turn to on the floor that we're accustomed to. Offensively, we were fine. I mean, between Davion and Z, we have 9 assists, 2 turnovers from the point guard position. Those are great numbers. They both made some shots, made some plays for others. That was good to see. But obviously, we spent so much time this week trying to figure out what we're going to do offensively. We probably got away from who we are defensively, and Marquette made us pay for that.
Questions for the student athletes first.
Yeah, Marcus, what was the challenge? What was the challenge going against? They ran a lot of ball screens, just defending those guards and trying to keep them out of spaces where they could shoot well.
Yeah, it was definitely hard. They spread us out on three-point line, shot excellent tonight. I mean, we knew that coming in, but it was definitely hard guarding those back screen ball screens and then trying to recover out to three-point shooters. I think that's where they got going a lot, and they were just feeding off of it all night.
I guess for both guys, in the second half there when they had that double-digit lead, it looked like you guys were trying to, find ways to pick yourselves up. I mean, you strung together, I think you hit scored on 6 straight possessions or something like that, but only cut the lead to 2. I mean, how difficult was it to crawl out of the hole today?
It was very difficult to crawl out just because they were hitting so many shots. We would go score 6 straight points, and then they'll come down and hit a 3, which would hurt us again. So it was definitely tough, but I'm so proud of my guys. We just kept fighting, and we just kept talking to each other, just not to give up until the buzzer goes off. So I'm proud of my guys for doing that today.
Yeah, I think, offensively, Max said we were fine. It was just defensively, just not knowing the scouting report and giving up threes that they wanted and they looked for.
How do you guys go about sort of figuring out that missing piece of Mo's ability on the court? Is that completely on you guys as veterans to just talk more? Or how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, it's got to be on me. I'll take the blame on that today. I got to be more vocal and be that calming presence, but also have the fire to tell guys what they got to do. But I think collectively, next week at practice we'll do a better job of focusing on defense because we know we can score now.
I guess Mac alluded to it a little bit there, but where did you miss him most today? Was it like, your opposite numbers are going to look fine on paper, but what were some of the little things you missed most about him on the court today? Do you think they were huge factors?
I would say defensively was the huge factor because he put a lot of pride in his defense, and nobody posting him up because he's little, and nobody going by him because he's little. So he definitely had a presence on the defensive end for us, and he got us going. And also, he liked to get under us sometimes when we're not doing it right, and we know how to respond. So I just think we got to find out how me, Isaiah, Cole, the upperclassmen can, get everybody going.
Yeah, I agree with Marcus. We got just the voice of defensively. That's where Watt was missed most today. When we were giving up buckets, he would have grabbed us and told us to get a few stops, and we would have responded. So, like Marcus said, just got to be better at it next week.
I think Coach Mack said something earlier in the week about we don't want to change our whole identity. Like, we want to still push the ball, play the pace. That was pretty evident early on. You guys feel comfortable sort of doing that part of it, and playing with tempo early?
Yeah, I mean, I came here, initially 5 years ago because that's the type of offense we wanted to play. I grabbed, grabbed Taz and Marcus and told them to get out and run and look for it more. I'll throw it ahead more, and kind of let them go to work offensively in the fast break. But yeah, we're not going to change anything. We're still going to get out and run.
2 more for the student athletes.
What did you guys think of Davion's play today? Obviously, the spotlight was kind of on him, seeing how he would, I don't know, step up in an increased role a little bit there. What did you think of the way he performed today?
I told him walking off the court how proud I was of him because, all he's been talking about to me was, having his turn to show people that he could play. And, some games he gets in and he tries to do a little too much and try to get out his character and what we need. And today he played very solid for us. He did everything we needed, and he listened to us today. If we told him he messed up, he made sure it didn't happen again. And he tried to be a leader and be our point guard out there for us. So I'm proud of the way he played today.
Yeah, completely agree. He had 8 assists and 2 turnovers. So, a 4-to-1 assist to turnover is not a bad thing, especially with everything that we were going through this week. So I'm proud of him.
Last question.
I guess how emotional was it for you guys today? We've kind of talked about, what it's like for Mo and kind of the perspective from that angle, but it looked like today it hit you guys a little bit with starting lineups that you guys weren't going to have him out there once that all was going down.
Yeah, it did kind of hit me more towards when the starting lineup and he wasn't sent to me on his left like he has been all year. So, I feel for him because I've watched him put in the work. I've watched him get in the gym when nobody else wanted to be there. And he's done everything the right way, and his image is so clean and perfect. That's why everybody loves him. So I feel for him that he can't finish his season right now with us because that's all he wanted to do was go to the tournament this year.
Thanks, guys.
See you Monday.
See you Monday.
It's a rest.
Questions for Coach Creighton?
Back when you lose Justin that early in fouls, you've already got Mo out. What does it do to them?
It's huge, and I talked to talked to Justin in the locker room. He has to grow defensively in terms of some of the decisions that he's making, and he knows that because we miss his presence out there when he's not on the floor. Without Zach right now, we don't really have a true post player that we can throw it into. So it's a double whammy for us when he's in foul trouble. The pressure on the rim and his skill set offensively, but then the rim protection on the defensive end, we certainly miss. So obviously people have watched him. They know what they can bait him into, and they're doing a good job of doing that. And he's he's young. He's going to make some mistakes, and my challenge is to make sure that he continues to grow, and those mistakes don't happen quite as often in the next game as they did today.
Hey, Mac, you said you were going to experiment and tinker. Was that enough time to kind of get a feel for what you want to do going forward, or is there still a lot more tinkering you have to do?
You know what? I was really pleased with the production from that spot. That certainly wasn't our problem today. Davion gets 17 points. He scores 15. And they get 9 assists and 2 turnovers between them. That's really good basketball. There are parts of our offense that aren't near as efficient without Mo, and our challenge is going to be, just continue to get better at some of the things that's going to work better for this group, and then, scrap some of the stuff that isn't going to be as effective. But my concern obviously is defensively, and you're putting guys on the defensive end that aren't accustomed to being there as well. So, when you take a fifth-year senior out defensively and replace him with a freshman, it's not going to go quite as smooth. And there were times today that we were exposed because Maurice wasn't on the floor. And again, just like Justin, Davion will get better every game in that regard.
How much did Fisher's performance compromise your defense in the aspect that you couldn't play him one-on-one and kind of had to scramble to catch up to guys?
Yeah, they were making so many threes and they stretch out. Now you got to make a decision. Do you come and double? And if you do, you're gonna leave them open on the perimeter. And they passed it out of there. We had a missed coverage to start the second half. We threw the 1-3-1 out there, just tried to upset their rhythm a little, and it worked for a few possessions. And then they got into the teeth of it and hit a couple corner threes. So that's a really talented, skilled offensive team. And like I said, they're as close to 6-1 as they are to 4-3. They let one get away at Seton Hall, and they had Butler down 18 and just didn't make shots the second half. So we've got a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of people in Omaha that feel sorry for us, but those teams that are playing us, they don't feel sorry for us.
Two more questions, Coach Mack.
Do you consider, I know you wanted to play with pace, but given Marquette's ability to sort of, they're comfortable playing fast, did you consider maybe just for this game something like that?
No. I mean, we had to get back to who we were. I mean, the reality of it is they had several possessions where they scored in the last 5 seconds of the possession. And as long as we're taking decent shots and making good decisions in transition, I think it's fine. We were able to rotate guys in enough, especially in the guard court the first half, that I don't think anybody was real fatigued. The issue was with the front line. Justin's foul trouble, obviously, we had to ride some guys some pretty big minutes. And, I'm not, Toby was playing on one foot, and as we know, Cole's playing on one leg. So that foul trouble was damaging to us.
I guess before the starting lineups, looked like you kind of had a little talk with kind of each guy. Did you notice that the emotional toll was kind of?
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, it was hard. I think it was harder on Maurice than he probably anticipated to come into the building with the crowd and everything. And I think the finality of it probably hit him more at that time than maybe it has during the course of the week. And I think these guys are his good friends, and they see that, and obviously they hurt for him and feel for him. And our challenge is, besides what he meant offensively and defensively, it's his voice, and I've talked about it a lot this week. He was the dominant voice on our team, and the huddles on the floor. If there's a free throw, he's huddling everybody. He's talking. Some of the timeouts were like silent today, and and it's not their fault. They haven't needed to play that role yet this year, but now we're going to need Marcus and Z and Cole, Zach when he gets back, Toby. Those guys as upperclassmen are going to have to. I don't know that one person can do it, but I think collectively we're going to have to really work on who's going to grab hold of the team when the chips are down a little bit, because it's a game of basketball. You got ebbs and flows, and you've got to get through the tough times, and that's usually if you can get through those times and get the train back on the track, then you're usually okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.